Sanachariya Vayomra Gopi Ganapala Gopi Ganapala Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Sanchari Jaya Prabhu Pada Jaya Prabhu Pada Jaya Prabhu Pada Jaya Prabhu Pada Prabhu Pada Jaya Prabhu Pada Hare Jayam Paramahansa Paribhraja Kacharya Sutra Sata Sishimad Is Divine Grace is Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jayam Vishpa Paramahansa Paribhraja Kacharya Sutra Sata Sishimad Is Divine Grace Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki His Confounder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki प्रेम सिखाओ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौ भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपिका विनाश मुकुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की मायापुर धाम की द्वारका धाम की जगन्नाथ धाम की गंगा माई यमुना माई की तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की श्री निताई गौरचंद की श्री कृष्ण बलराम की श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर की entire Gopi Manande. All glory to the Son devotees. All glory to the Son devotees. All glories to the Assembly devotees. All glories to thee. Let us feet of Sri Guru Gauranga. Jai Sri Prabhupada. Gurave Gurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Agyana Timenda Sagana Ganan Salakaya Chaksumita Yenatasma Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Stapita Yena Bhutale Sairupa Kadama Yenadati Sapadantika Bandeyam Sri Guru Sitam Padakamalan Sri Guru Vaishnavisam Cha Sri Rupam Sakajatan Sahakana Raghunatha Vitantan Sajiva Sadvaitan Savadutan Parijana Saitan Sri Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Padasahagana Lalita Sri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Govika Kantu Radha Kanta Namastrute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhan Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Krishna Ya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandana Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govinda Yanamo Namah Vasudeva Sutan Devam Kansachana Ramadana Devaki Paramananda Krishna Vanda Jagaguru Namamo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivise Sunyavadi Pashucha Dashatarine Panchakapatarubhyascha Kripasini Vivacha Patitana Pavanavi Vaishnavi Namo Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadahara Sivasadi Gopaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I thank everyone for being here this evening for our Bhagavad-Gita class. We are in the second chapter, text 28. So Lord Krishna is continuing enlightening Arjuna about the science of the soul. So Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna about the temporary nature of this material body. And the material body, it does not always exist, and it's the soul that is always existing. So therefore, Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna that what is the need of this lamentation? Why you worry so much that all these relatives, friends, cousins, gurus, elders, they're going to be killed, when in reality there is no killing for the real self. The real self is always existing. So what is the need for this worry, this body that is always temporary? So this is the continuation of this analysis. Arjuna is worrying for what is not worthy of grief. So, okay, we check text number 28, chapter 2. Because spiritual life, unless you understand the science of the soul, then the spiritual life is difficult to practice spiritual life. So the science of the soul must be understood, because because Krishna consciousness is based upon the soul proper. So because Krishna consciousness is based on the soul platform, not on the material platform. Okay. Avyata dini bhutani vyak avyatani danani va tatraka paridevana avyata dini bhutani vyata madhyani bharata. Avyakta nidana nyeva tatraka paridevana avyakta dini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata avyakta nidana nyeva tatraka paridevana vyakta dini bhutani Ladies, avyakta dini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata avyakta dini, in the beginning unmanifested, bhutani, all that are created, vyakta, manifested, madhyani, in the middle, bharata, or descendant of bharata, avyakta, non-manifested, nidanani, when vanquished, eva, it is all like that, tatra, therefore, ka, what? Paridevana, lamentation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. All created beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and or manifest again when annihilated. So, what need is there for lamentation? Purport. Accepting that there are two classes of philosophers. One, believing in the existence of the soul, and the other, not believing in the existence of the soul. There is no cause for lamentation in either case. Non-believers in the existence of the soul are called atheists by followers of Vedic wisdom. Yet, even if for argument's sake we accept this atheistic theory, there is still no cause for lamentation. Apart from the separate existence of the soul, the material elements remain unmanifested before creation. From this subtle state of non-manifestation comes manifestation. Just as from ether, air is generated, From air, fire is generated. From fire, water is generated. And from water, earth becomes manifested. From the earth, many varieties of manifestations take place. Take, for example, a big skyscraper manifested from the earth. When it is dismantled, the manifestation becomes again unmanifested and remains as atoms in the ultimate stage. The law of conservation of energy remains, but in course of time, things are manifested and unmanifested. That is the difference. Then, what causes there for lamentation, either in the stage of manifestation or in unmanifestation? Somehow or other, even in the unmanifested stage, things are not lost. Both at the beginning and at the end, all elements remain unmanifested, and only in the middle are they manifested. And this does not make any real material difference. And if we accept the very conclusion as stated in the Bhagavad-Gita that these material bodies are perishable, in due course of time, antavanta imedeha, but that the soul is eternal, nityas yukta saririna, then we must remember always that the body is like a dress. Therefore, why lament the changing of a dress? The material body has no factual existence in relation to the eternal soul. It is something like a dream. In a dream, we may think of flying in the sky or sitting on a chariot as a king. But when we wake up, we can see that we are neither in the sky nor seated in the chariot. The Vedic wisdom encourages self-realization on the basis of the non-existence of the material body. Therefore, in either case, whether one believes in the existence of the soul or one does not believe in the existence of the soul, there is no cause for lamentation for loss of the body. So this is very good analysis of the temporary nature of the material body. So this verse says, Vyakta Madhyani, what is manifested, Vyakta and Avyakta. So two things. Vyakta means manifested, and Avyakta means unmanifested. So it's mentioned that what is unmanifest, then become manifest, again become unmanifest. So that is how this material, that's the nature of this material world anyway, because previously everything was just on a big unmanifest stage, just like this whole material world is created from what we call from pradana. Pradana means is the combined elements of this material world, the combined element of all the materialistic elements, the existence. this program, when everything just one big lump, there's no separation. There's no separation. Everything is just one big lump. And then through the infusion of the energy of the Lord, it mentioned that the Lord casts his glance to the material nature. And then by looking at material nature, casting his glance, then everything starts becoming manifested. From then there's Mahatattva, along with the combination of the gunas, then different elements begin to manifest. Different items begin to manifest. So Lord Brahma was created, and then he started to create different bodies of different living entities in this material world. So everything is unmanifest previously, and then when the living entities, according to the previous karma, which they have, which they created, which they accumulated previously, and then through the combination of karma, it was that karmani davani trainer, karmani davani trainer. So which means by their previous karma, and then along the combination of material nature, so the living entity, so the body of the living entity is created. So which means the body become manifested from the combination of material nature and the karma of the living entities. And then the living entity begin to live its life. So the living entity is living its life, and then just like we have now, we have the different bodies, we're living our lives. And then after some times, there'll be a time of death, because you don't remain in the material body forever. The body has to go, eventually will have to perish. So the body will eventually have to perish, and then again, the living entities who is being carried by the subtle body, the subtle elements, will now will be merged into the non-manifested stage again. Will be put in the non-manifested stage. So, which means the karma which has been gathered by the living entities will stays in the sorrow platform. So we'll be in the unmanifest stage again. That's what we call death. Because, and then again after some time, again another birth. So so in the previous verse, that which Lord Krishna has been telling Arjuna, that the Lord is saying, Najate Merati Vakadachin. So the Lord is pointing out the reasons of this. What become manifest and not manifest, that's material body, but either unmanifest or manifest and then unmanifest. But what is always in existing is the soul. So the Lord say, Najayate namiyate na vakadachin. There is no birth and there is no death. Najayate na brivate. The body, the soul is eternal. No birth and no death for the soul. So what are we lamenting for this world? When we see someone dying, we are lamenting for the person dying. When we see someone taking birth, we are joyful, especially the birth of a child. Everyone is very, very happy. Everyone is celebrating because a child is coming to the world. And then when an old person is dying, everyone is lamenting, oh, this person is dead. And then we're lamenting. But it's all based on illusion, because both taking birth and dying, this is all based on illusion. It's all illusion, because after all, the taking of a new body and then dying and taking another body. This is just based on changing of dress. The body, we are changing dress. When you change your dress, remove one dress, and then you put another dress. So what is the value of that? What's the value of changing one dress for another dress? What is the value? But if you are simply celebrating and lamenting because of the changing of dress, that is just illusion only. This is just based on illusion. And it's because of illusion, that's how our life, that's how the material world is miserable. Because we are lamenting for what is not worthy. Location is telling Arjuna that we are lamenting for what is not worthy of grief. Hmm? That the very first answer, the first instruction that location is giving to Arjuna. That what is this? You are lamenting for what is not worthy of grief. You, even though you are speaking like a learned person, you are speaking like a learned man. Because after all, Arjuna, he has been speaking so many big philosophy of how, all these people, they're going to die, the relatives, the friends, and all these men, they're going to die. And then when they die, what's going to happen? So their wife, the old woman, they will have no protection. And when the women have no protection, so what's going to happen? They're going to become loose. And when they become loose in the society, so what's going to happen? They will start creating Vanasankara. So therefore, Arjuna is saying that. So therefore, let's not do this fighting. So therefore, I want to go to the forest. I want to give up this bow and arrow. I'm not going to fight Krishna. Because this fighting is just not good. I'm not going to do the fighting. So Lord Krishna have to talk sense into Arjuna. Because after all, Arjuna, he's coming from a very illustrious family. He's not coming from some ordinary family. He's coming from the family of wise people, very wise. People who are very, very knowledgeable. People who know the reality of material world, who know the reality of materialistic existence. So Arjuna, coming from this illustrious family, how come now he's not lamenting, he's not subjecting himself to this lamentation that I am not going to fight because this fighting is bad, because this fighting is going to create irreligion in the society. Because those who are supposed to be protecting will no longer be there. In life, in the Vedic system, we have five uh, uh, system of protection, 5 objects of protection, which is the children, the women, the old people, the brahmanas, and then the cows. Those are the 5 entities that are supposed to be always being protected. But who does the protection? Men, kings. They're responsible for this protection. But if all these people are killed, who's going to be giving protection? Who's going to be giving protection? So the whole society is going to turn upside down because all these entities who are supposed to be protected will no longer be protected. So therefore, my dear Krishna, let's not engage in this fighting. And of course, Arjuna is there in the middle of all these warriors, and everyone was very, very enthusiastic to fight. So Arjuna said, okay, I'm not going to fight. Let them see me as a coward person. I'm just going to go to the forest. Let them see me as a coward. But of course, Krishna will not listen. So, in this verse, like Krishna is telling Arjuna, oh, son of Bharat. Bharat is a great personality. Bharat. Great personalities in the past. So Krishna said, you are the descendant of Bharata. You're not an ordinary person. Why are you succumbing yourself to this lamentation? So the Lord said, Najati Nambitava Kadachin. There's no birth, no death for the soul. You are the soul. Natru Evahajatu Nasham, Nachana Mekan was that? Natru Evahajatu Nasham, in the text number number 12 of this chapter. Yeah, Krishna is saying, Natu Eveham, Tatu Nasham, Natone Mejanadipa, Nachavana, Bhavishyama Sabivayam Ataparam. That never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these people, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So Krishna said, we are always there. We are always in existence. We always, which means there's no death. There is no death for the identity. Atma has no death. Hmm? So, and then of course, then the next verse says, they know smiyata dehe komara yovanam jara tata antara prapti dirastatra mohoyate. The embodied soul, as the embodied soul passes, embodied soul means pass, which means the soul is different from the body. In this body, from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. A sober person is not bewildered when there is a changes in the body. Understanding this is very, very important to understand our spiritual nature. To understand our spiritual nature is very, very important, because if we don't understand our spiritual nature, how do we practice spiritual life? As I said in the beginning. Now, in the text 22 also, as Lord Krishna is saying, as Prabhupada has mentioned the purport, that how the changing of body is just like changing of the dress. So the Lord said, Vasansi Jinani Gatavihaya Navani Grinati Narupanani Parani Tata Sarirani Vyajinani Ayani Samyati Navani Dehi. As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. So when we hearing all these things, why should we be lamenting? Why should it be, when there's someone is giving, coming to life, taking birth, why should we be expressing joy? And when somebody is dying, leaving his body, why should we be expressing sorrow? When we know that birth and death is just changing of the material body. So that's why, as I said, a spiritualist is always happy, because a spiritualist understand the reality of life. Understand the reality of life. A spiritualist does not lament. So which means the happiness or distress that we see in life is pertain only to the material body, which by its nature is temporary by nature, because the material body will only remain only for some time. It remains only for some time for a particular purpose. Now, reading something here about this commentary by Srila Vishnu Chakravarti in this sloka, he said, in this way, having dispelled lamentation in respect to the Atma by this sloka, Najayate Mriyativa Kadachi, so which is in respect to this body. So Lord Krishna is now dispelling the cause of lamentation for both the Jivatma and the body by speaking this sloka, beginning with the word Avyakta. Before birth, devas, human beings, animals, birds, and so on remain unmanifest before birth. Even at that time, the subtle and gross bodies also exist in their causous state in the form of matter, such as earth. But they are in an unmanifest stage. So which basically means that this uh, the body that become manifest in this interim stage, interim state. Interim means in the middle stage. So this body that is which means the body we're having now, as we can and supposedly see ourselves. So the elements itself, they're always there because the elements, they are together in their unmanifest stage, in their combined stage. And that stage they are there. And when it's time for the manifestation, and then again they come and then they become separate. Just for example, let's say when the body during the death, when the time for death come, so the soul leaves the body, and then all the elements again go back to earth, and then within the earth, and of course you find all the elements such as the water, the air, the fire, the everything is there. They are there. Hmm? But the soul is always like a traveler. The soul is traveling, just like in the Bhagavatam, in Bhagavatam fourth canto, the story of King Puranjana is narrated. The story of King Puranjana, how the King Puranjana, how actually it's very nice allegorical study of the living entity in this material world. But the living entity is traveling this material world, but because of the false assumption, so the living entity will think himself to be a king or to be a servant, to be different thing, because of the false assumption. But the soul itself, the soul is called Puranjana, which means it's an entity that's eternal. The entity is eternal. So, but that entity is eternal, but in this stage, um, because of being the material consciousness, the living entity is thinking himself to be a material product. And because of this, then there's lamentation. So basically, this text is mentioned that why should one be lamenting when we know that when we understand the reality of materialistic existence, because things comes into being and then they go. Let's say you are in a bus, you are traveling in a bus, and then you are there with so many other travelers. You are traveling together. So you have to, and then that traveler, you meet other travelers. You are conversing. You are talking to one another, and then when you reach your destination, you get off. You get off the bus, and then when you get off the bus, everybody goes their separate ways. You never see each other again. You never see each other again. So in this way, what is the value of even though you're in the bus, you are making friendship or you're talking, but you get off the bus, you go to your separate destination, and then you never see each other again. So you can see that okay, what's like in this case, what are you going to lament for? The person that you only met temporarily in the bus, and then you never see it, and then you never see them again, and then you want to lament. So that lamentation is based on false assumption. It's based on false assumption. So Krishna is saying we should understand the reality of life, that no, we should not be lamenting for this temporary manifestation. We should not be lamenting for that. So in the Bhagavatam, when Narada Muni, he was talking with Yudhishthira Maharaj, because that time uh, uh, Dhritarashtra He had just left home. He went to the forest. He left home to the, and then that time, so Yudhishthira Maharaj was lamenting along with his brothers that, oh, the elders, they've 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 gone. So Narada Muni came, and then he was giving advice to Yudhishthira Maharaj. So Narada Muni said, Yamaya Sedruvan Lokam, this from Bhagavatam, 1st Canto 13 chapter, text 44. Yamaya Sedruvan Lokam, Adruvam Vana Chobayam, Sabata Nai Sochaste, Snehat Ayatra Mohajat. So he said, O king, in all circumstances, whether you consider the soul to be an eternal principle, or the material body to be perishable, or everything to exist in the impersonal absolute truth, or everything to be an inexplicable combination of matter and spirit, feelings of separation are due only to illusory affection and nothing more. It's very important. Feelings of separation. When the dear one, so-called, we say someone is dear one and then passed away, we say dear one because we have maintained this this attachment, but this attachment is based on illusion. Because first of all, when we see a person that we are saying, this person, my father, my mother, my friend, my child, my whatever, but the reality is that we never really see the person before. Because it's just this when we say my friend, my child, my mother, my father, my wife, my husband, but what is that mind that we are saying? What is that mind? Because the body that we are saying, my mind is mind that, when that body lie down dead on the ground, and then we start saying that, oh, this person has gone, this person has gone. So we are saying this person has gone, this person has gone. But the same body is lying on the ground. The same body is there. So what has gone? But the soul is a traveler. It's just traveling. But under illusion, we are thinking, oh, this person is gone, and then we start lamenting. And we just feeling, we start lamenting, oh, yes. But we never see the person before. Because the same body before is lying on the ground that we have a relationship with. So if you are saying that this person has gone, we never seen the person before. So that's why one has to have a real vision. So Srila Prabhupada said, he said the actual fact is that every living being is an individual part and parcel of the Supreme Being. And his constitutional position is subordinate cooperative service, either in his conditional material existence or in his liberated position of full knowledge and eternity. The living entity is eternally under the control of the Supreme Lord. But those who are not conversant with factual knowledge put forward many speculative propositions about the real position of the living entity. It is admitted, however, by all schools of philosophy that the living being is eternal and that the covering body of the five material elements is perishable and temporary. The eternal living entity transmigrates from one material body to another by the law of karma, and material bodies are perishable by their fundamental structures. Therefore, there is nothing to be lamented in the case of the souls being transferred into another body. or the material body is perishing at a certain stage. There are others who believe in the merging of the spirit soul in the supreme spirit when it is uncovered by the material engagement. And there are others also who do not believe in the existence of spirit or soul, but believe in tangible matter. In our daily experience, we find so many transformations of matter from one form to another, but we do not lament such changing features. In either of the above cases, the force of divine energy is uncheckable. No one has any hand in it, and thus there is no cause for grief. So therefore, we should not lament or grieve for any changes of material element, any changes that we see material. We should not lament, or we should not lament, nor should we celebrate. We not feel joyful. Somebody is coming to this world. We are celebrating, we are dancing, and then somebody is dying. Then we are lamenting, Now, a spiritualist is the one who is equiposed. So, and that's why it mentioned that Dulaban Manusan Jama, that yes, this material, this human form of life is very, very rarely obtained, because we have obtained this material body after coming through 84 lakh species of life from different spaces we've come. So when we attain the human form of life, we're supposed to develop spiritual knowledge. And development of spiritual knowledge means that we understand that yes, our nature is not material. Our nature is a spiritual. And that spiritual is eternal. And eternal part and parcel of God. And what is the purpose of that? When we have what's the purpose of this material form, this human form? The purpose is to enable us to understand our eternal spiritual existence, and then establish our eternal relationship with the Lord, and then leave this material world and go back to that eternal birth, eternal abode, eternal existence. So therefore, but this initial fundamental knowledge is very, very important. This initial fundamental knowledge, the reality that yes, the living being is not subject to the changing nature of material body. The living entity, the Atma, is always different. And we are the Atma. We are not the material body. So we should not be identifying ourselves with the material body. Just like somebody have a car and another person driving a car, he goes and hit the car. And the person says, oh, you've hit me. But he hit the car, not you. You are different from the car. But because of the identification, you are thinking that I am the car. This is based on illusion. So is that illusion? So we have to remove this illusion of identifying ourselves with the material body. This illusion has to be removed. And that is this science that Bhagavad-Gita is teaching us, how this illusion can be removed, understand the real essence of life, the spiritual nature, and then how we can establish ourselves in the ultimate reality. So it's very, very important philosophy. And Srila Prabhupada, he give a nice, wonderful deliberation in this purport here. That even though you're an atheist, you don't believe that there is a soul, still things are not eternal. Things are not permanent in this world. Things are not permanent. Things come, stay for some time, and then they go away. So therefore, everyone should not lament. It doesn't matter you believe or you don't believe. It doesn't matter. So this is the purpose. This is what the purpose is mentioned here in this purport. So thank you very much. If there is any question, you can. Yes. Soul is never done. Yeah. Yeah, the soul is part and parcel of God. Yes. Why soul is not take birth? Yeah, no. Yeah, the soul does not take birth now. Najiate, nabriate. Because you are not, your body is here, but not you. You yourself, you're eternal. This body, sarira, means the body. That's a dress that you are wearing. But that dress, you are changing all the time. You change from one body to another body, and then again, after a certain time, you go and change the dress for another body. The dress that you are wearing, so which means you are a traveler. You are a traveler in the material world. You are in a journey. And that journey will continue until you come to spiritual realization that yes, actually, I do not belong to this material world. I am not this material body. Now, who am I? I am a spirit soul who is part of God. Now, there's another place which is not subject to change that this material world is. This material world is subject to change, but there's another place whereby there is no change. Lord Krishna says, Nata basa eduna soyo, nasasakuna pavaka, tagatuna nibatante, tadama paramamama. So Lord Krishna said there is a place whereby there's no darkness, there's no need of moon or the sun. At that place, it's an eternal place. When you go to that place, there'll be no more birth and death. You see, so that understanding you have to know that when you call yourself a woman, another person calls yourself a man, but that's just a temporary identification. It's not you. You are a spiritual being. So this whole chapter 2, Lord Krishna is emphasizing again and again that you are not the body, you are a spirit soul inside the body. The body changes, but you don't change. You stay the same person. For example, let's say 30 years ago, you have a different form, you have a young body, small body. But now today, that body is not there anymore. You have a different body now. That body is not there anymore. But you can still remember that, oh, there was a time I was a young girl. There was a time, just like myself, I'm 70 years old, but there was a time I was a young man. I was a child, But that body is not there anymore. But you see the same person. You know yourself. And at the time you become very, very old, and then you have to give up that body. But you see, your identity is still I am still the same person. So Gita is telling that you are the one that you know that you don't change, you're still the same person, but your body is changing. But we feel with lamentation in life because we are identifying ourselves with the material body. Because we think we are this body, so therefore we are lamenting. There's happiness, there's sorrow, because we are thinking we are the material body. But Lord Krishna said, you are not the material body, you are a spirit soul. And once this understanding is solidified, then there'll be no more lamentation. There'll be no more, because happiness and distress will remain the same to you, will remain the same. Because as Lord Krishna says, there's winter, there's a summer season, they come and go. So happiness and distress is like that, they come and go. But a person who knows that it's a spiritual being does not identify with such happiness or distress that comes in life. He actually tolerates it. Happiness will come, distress will come, but he's tolerated because he does not identify with it. So therefore the person is happy because you're a spiritual being. You're not a material being. So the more you read Bhagavad-Gita and the more you chant Hare Krishna mantra, this realization will come. See? The whole purpose of your chanting is for you to understand your spiritual nature. That yes, I am eternal being. And who am I? I'm servant of Krishna, servant of God. Krishna does. Servant of God. And I'm supposed to, if now that relationship which I have has been forgotten, but I'm supposed to establish that relationship. So we have attained this human form of life to connect ourselves again with God. And then we can be established in our eternal position. And then we leave this material, we go to the spiritual, which is permanent. We're not supposed to be here. This place is a place of suffering. It's actually a place of punishment for those who have forgotten their spiritual nature. So we are here. We are not supposed to be here, but we are here because this is prison house. Okay. Hare Krishna. Any other point? Okay. So if there's no more question, so thank you for listening. Jai Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki.